So please ignore the books in the background, they're a mess. I've been trying to get a better shot, but I think it's the best I can do. I really should at least make them face outwards. Oh well. So, hi! It's November 1st, 2023, which means NaNoWriMo has just started. Now, NaNoWriMo, if you don't know, is this challenge that happens once a year where you're supposed to try and write 50,000 words, which is kind of a novel. I did vlog last year's NaNoWriMo attempt and success in the end, but those vlogs were not successful. that was the least successful part of my nano journey last year. So I did want to vlog this year's nano and kind of me trying to write 50k more words. But I'm going to try and make these much quicker, much smaller, and I'm not going to have like every day an update. But yeah, I'm just going to have fun and try and enjoy nano. Now, last year I worked on my first novel, the one I started 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe even at this point. I think in 2020 I started it. And yeah, and it's this like huge epic story that's gonna have hundreds of thousands of words. And I got to about 140k with that one, but including the 50k I did for Nano last year. But at some point I was like, okay, let's try and write a smaller book for my first book, because both it's easier for people to start when they start reading your work. They'll probably not gonna want to read like hundreds of thousands of words. It's too much to ask of someone who like doesn't trust you, doesn't have any history with you, and also just I'll probably mess up publishing my first book, and I don't want to mess it up with like a huge book. So about 4 or 5 months ago, I pivoted from working on that huge novel to a new world, a new book, and inspired by a lot of things that I love. It is still dark fantasy, also urban dark fantasy, like my original book, but it is a completely different POV, world, and everything, magic system. So yeah, I've already written about 25k for that one. So we're starting at around 25k. I'll do the math right now. But yeah, my hope is that this is going to be a much smaller story than my first novel, even though this will kind of now be my first novel because I'll probably publish this first. So I don't know. It's weird. Which one is actually the first one I started or the one I will hopefully finish? But yeah, I hope to during Nano finish this novel. 50k should be more than enough words to conclude the story. Maybe I'll need a few more thousand, but that's okay as long as it doesn't balloon to over 100,000 words. But yeah, my goal is really to try and have fun. I loved last year's nano, although it was really difficult. My hope that this year, just because I do not have the same amount of time I did last year, for many reasons, I'm not gonna vlog as much. I'm not gonna stress as much. I'm just gonna write a hell of a lot. It's like 3 in the afternoon right now. I can check on my phone. Sorry, I'll shake you. Yeah, it's 3 in the afternoon right now, and I'm about to start writing my first like. I'm gonna set up a few things, and I'm just gonna write until I hit the 1600. That's how much you need every day for you to reach the goal of 50k. But yeah, I'm gonna do little updates and let you in on how I'm doing. So yeah, wish me luck. I hope you have luck if you're writing as well during Nano, and yeah, I'll talk to you a bit later. So it's finally the weekend, and I can finally write as much as I want to. The last 3 days the first 2 days I got to the goal. Yesterday I only did 1200, but yeah, overall I'm happy. Now, this show I've had with Nano last year, and I'm having it this year, isn't that the 1600 words is too much? It's that it's too much every day. It just kind of takes over your life. If you wanna win Nano, which is a little sad, but that's why today I'm going with a friend of mine to have breakfast, and then I'm gonna write the entire rest of the day and try to get as much done, and hopefully this feeling kind of lets up a little bit. So it is the 11th, meaning it's a third of the way to the finish line. I've been getting my words in almost every day. I think I missed 2 days, but I've already made up for those days. So I'm doing really well. I'm kind of getting into the groove of it. The first couple of days I was not feeling it. But yeah, I'm kind of into the groove of it. It's it's going well overall. There is so next week I'm going to the office more for work. It'll be a bit harder for me to get to write as much. So what I wanted to do, today's the weekend, I wanted to get 3,000 words today and tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. And I feel like that's very doable, and that I think that'll get me to like a good place for the following week or two, where I probably won't be able to write as much. So yeah, I just had a shower, which you can probably tell, and I'm just gonna get to writing, and I'll see you in the next update. I fucking did it. Yeah, I did it. I got 520 over 3K, so I'm really happy. Tomorrow might be even harder to get there, but honestly, just getting so my word count went for today 500, 700, 700, 900, 600, and those 600 were like in half an hour. So a much smaller sprint than 15 minutes. I usually do 15 minutes. That's what I realized. Just doing longer sprints, it's much better for me. But yeah, I'm really happy. I'm gonna go and have fun now. It's literally midnight. I'm gonna just relax, probably read a book. I'm reading Percy Jackson right now. I think I even have it right here. Let me get it. Yeah, it's right here. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah. But yeah, I'll probably update you tomorrow to see if I got 3,000 tomorrow, and then I'll see you whenever. Okay, so it is midnight. The 22nd just started. The last couple of days, I've been kind of not doing that well. I had a couple of days where I did under the needed word count, but today I did it, and I also passed 30K, and I have 8 days left, so I'm doing okay. Let me show you. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So today I did almost 2,500, and we're at 62%. So the graph, it doesn't look amazing, but it doesn't look bad. So yeah, I'm finding it a bit harder this year than last year to get motivation. I also feel like I'm overwriting. I have my entire project has I believe current word count is 59,805, which is a lot. My hope was for this story to be finished at 75K, and I don't think that'll happen at this point. But it's okay. I'll cut down the second draft, and in the second draft, or the first proper draft, when I edit it down, so it's okay. Extra words are never bad. Just a little bit more work to edit. But yeah, I'm gonna relax now, and I'll give you an update, in like a couple of days. Bye. Okay, so it is the 26th. Okay. It is the 26th. It's Sunday. I woke up recently, had breakfast, drank my morning coffee. It's getting close to 1 now. I did read a bit of Percy Jackson. I'm getting to the end of the first book. I'm really enjoying it. I started it right before Nano, and I wasn't able to really read it. I read it in I read the first 200 pages really quickly, or I want to say the first 150 pages really quickly. Then Nano got in the way, and I read another 100 really quickly. And I'm gonna try and finish it tomorrow. I have about 70 pages left. I'm really enjoying it. I'm thinking about like reviewing it the way I do Wheel of Time, but we'll see. Yeah, what I want to do, because it's Black Friday, or Cyber Monday, Black Friday thing. I want to see if I want to order something, maybe get new headphones, and so I can listen to my audiobooks again when I'm outside. My current headphones don't isolate anymore, so I'm not really able to do that. And yeah, and after that, it's just writing. So the last couple of days, I've been, I want to say since like day 20, it's been weak. Nano is really draining. It was draining last year, but last year I worked from home, and this year, during Nano at least, I'm working from the office 4 out of the 5 days, and that's a lot. And it's really draining. I work and then I write, and that is it. I can't read. I can't play video games. I can't, hang out. On Friday I went out with a couple of my friends. That was fun, but even that was like just a couple of hours, and then it's like, oh, I need to write, and I did write afterwards. So yeah, since day 20, I've been kind of missing the goal. My daily word count hasn't ballooned too much. It's like 2,200 right now, which isn't crazy. Last night, after midnight, I continued writing for about an hour, and I got 700 words. So today I basically need 1,500 words today. My hope is to go further than that, since it's like 1 right now. And I want to go and try and get as much of a surplus today, since I'm home, since I'm not going anywhere. Um, and so, because the next 4 days I'm working from the office, so it's gonna be hard to get. I need about 10,000 words, I think, overall. Um, and so yeah, it's gonna be really hard getting to the finish line, but I can get there. I just need to, we're coming to the point where I can't miss a day, or I can't miss a day horribly. I can miss like 200, 300, 400 words, but I can't miss like 1,000 words, because if it balloons up to like me needing 4 or 5,000 words, it's just gonna be too much. So my hope is for today and tomorrow to try and get as much as possible done, and get that word count actually really low. But yeah, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna sit, do a little bit of shopping, and actually no, I still have like one more page before the chapter ends. I'm gonna finish reading that. I'm gonna do some Black Friday shopping, and my coffee's ready, everything is ready, and I'm just gonna write the entire day, and hopefully I don't burn myself out, and hopefully I get enough work done that it's like. So yeah, I'll talk to you later. Hey, it is the 29th. I am extremely tired. It's 8 o'clock, and I'm just starting to write. I'm at 45k, and I have 2 days. That's 2,500 today and tomorrow. I'm ultra, ultra tired. I'm so ready for this to be done with. I'm nowhere near the end of my novel. I'm just now aware of that. I was aware before, but like now I'm nowhere near the end. I have like probably 20k more to write before I can even attempt to finish this novel. Um, which I find kind of sad and kind of demoralizing, but still, I do want to get to 50k. I don't know. I'm just not having as much fun as I did last year, even though last year was very stressful. Um, it was more fun for me. I don't know. I wish it was. I had more energy. I had more time to just kind of um, enjoy myself a little more. I do enjoy it. I enjoy like the last like half hour of writing, but the first 2 hours, and I'm just spending so much time at work. Ugh. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I will update you tomorrow, and I'll probably do one more update after that, where we sum up all of our feelings. And but yeah, see you later. Okay, it is November 30th of 2023, the last day of NaNoWriMo. It's 7 o'clock. I have 2,500 words, and I can definitely get that in um, 5 hours. So I'm gonna start writing right now. I'm not gonna talk to you for too much because I don't have too much time. I don't want to have to cheat, so I'm gonna need to do everything before 12 o'clock. But yeah, we are reaching 50K today no matter what. And yeah, we have a little less than 5 hours left, so I'm just gonna get to it, and I'll talk to you afterwards. Oh my god, we made it. Barely, but we made it. Let me show you. Okay, this is where we're at. It is 4 minutes to midnight. My graph, let me just get this. This is what my graph looks like. It's, kind of close to the what it should have been. Obviously, I've had a slump in the last third. We made it up mostly today. And yeah, here I am. 3,000 words today almost. Yeah, all in all, my immediate reaction is I did not enjoy this year's Nano as much as last year's, for multiple reasons. But yeah, I am just gonna relax right now. I will film an outro and just the final thoughts. But yeah, it was rough this year. Um, but yeah, I'm just gonna relax. I really need to just do. Oh, I can read my book finally. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. I am so over. I'm not over this story, but I'm over having to write so much every day. Um, yeah, but I'm happy that I did it. I do feel proud. I'm actually just, it's currently happening. I'm just currently realizing that I did it, and I'm ugh. But yeah, I'm just gonna, relax. Maybe send this to the computer so I can start editing it. And yeah, I'll probably I'm gonna take tomorrow off. I need tomorrow off. But after that, I'm gonna probably film an outro for this, and yeah, I'll have smarter things to say then. Bye. So okay, it's the end of Nano. It is the third. But overall, I wanted to just do an outro for this vlog, and also just film a little bit of my thoughts on Nano this year and everything. I think I found it much more difficult this year because I wasn't working from home. If you're working from home, it is completely different. Even if you work more when you work from home, which I generally think I do, um, it's just the commute, the just amount of things you do at the office. You're talking to people, you're standing up a lot more. You're going to meetings. You're doing. It's just a lot more activity that isn't just sitting at my computer and working. It's just a lot more I don't want to say physical activity because it sounds stupid, but when you're at home, you're just sitting in your computer and working a lot, which is mentally draining, but not that physically. But when I got home from work, I'm exhausted. I was on my feet the entire day. I was going left to right, doing a lot of things, working at the same time. The commute, all of it was just a lot. And then I had to write 2K words every day. Yeah, so it was not as fun as last year. I did, vlogging was much smaller this year. Thank God, because if I had to vlog the way I did last year, which wasn't good, the last year's vlogs were kind of shit, but I enjoyed making them. But still, that doesn't make sense. This train of thought doesn't make sense. Now, on the other hand, the thing I reduced this year was vlogging. Last year, I did too many vlogs that were too long. It took too much time to edit. I want to have this vlog out immediately. I'm gonna edit it today, hopefully, and just release it. Yeah. So that tried to balance out the fact that I had to go to the office. It didn't balance it out enough. I was really tired on some days. It's interesting, but last year, between, I want to say, the 18th and the 24th was my weakest like period, and so was this year. So I kind of drop off, and then like for the last couple of days I rally and get the words. So it is, I see that trend here. I've also noticed the trend, and I think this is why this year I was a lot more, not sad, I don't want to say sad, but just more down than last year. Why I didn't have as much fun as last year. And that's because I realized that during NaNoWriMo, I write a lot, not just in the sense of just a lot of words, but a little slower, I would think. And my hope, so let me give you some backstory on my books. On my last NaNoWriMo, I was writing my first novel. And my first novel is going to be like extremely long at this point. I have about 140k words written, and it's probably going to be around 200k for the first draft, at least. Then I'll edit it down, hopefully. But the first novel is really going to be long, and it became long because of NaNoWriMo last year. Because one scene that was supposed to be, not scene, like chapter, whatever you want to call it, was supposed to be like 10 to 20k words, ended up being like 40k. And I felt the same thing here, where things that I wanted to finish quickly, I ended up taking a lot of time writing and a lot of words writing. And it's like, we're at 70 for this novel, which, backstory on that novel, I looked at my original story, the first one I wanted to write, and I was like, this is really long, it's gonna be really weird and really like non-standard, and let's try and write a more standard novel that is much shorter, much faster to write, much faster to edit. It's gonna take less money to edit, and I can just release it, and I can be kind of a lower level of investment into a work, and that I can learn how to publish on that work before I publish like a huge novel. But now, because of my tendency to use NaNoWriMo to balloon up my work, I've done that with this novel as well. This novel is at 78k. It's not at 140k, thankfully, and I think I'll be able to finish it to about 100 or 110k. But it's still, I imagine this to be much shorter, like 60k, 55k, 70k. And I had the same issue as last year, where I just kind of, and maybe it's not because of NaNoWriMo. Maybe if I wrote, at my normal pace, it would have ended up being this long. We'll see. I don't know. I'll probably have to speed it up a little bit and then edit out the middle. I'm also thinking about the dragging middle syndrome. I might have that. I might have that problem in both my novels, but I don't think I'll have it in the first novel. But in this one, I might have it. But yeah, so I was kind of, during the end, like the last 10 days of Nano, I was like, this isn't going as fast as I wish. I was writing as many words as I wanted, but the story wasn't progressing at the speed that I wanted. So it was just, it was a little demoralizing to know that, because, in my mind, I had 28k written when I started Nano, and I was like, okay, 50k, and the book is done. I'll have finished my novel, my first novel that's finished, this month. And we reached the month, I reached my goal, but I have not finished the novel, which kind of pushes the narrative that, in my head, that I haven't reached my goal. But yeah, all in all, it wasn't as enjoyable. It was much harder than last year. I don't want to say harder. It was just as hard, but I found it harder. But still, I did it. I can say I did it. I had an idea of doing like a video about tips and tricks for Nano. I might do that as the next video. I'll see. Because like I've done it twice now, at least. I'm not an expert, but I've done it twice. Also, during this Nano is the first time I experienced not writer's block, but I don't know where to go. I don't know what to write, and I don't feel like writing because of it. So I would have days where last night I finished a scene, and I don't know what the next scene is. When I'm like at my computer and I have my file open and it's a blank page, it will not be blank for long. I will just start writing and it will come to me almost natural. I've never experienced like writer's block in the sense of I'm sitting there and I'm blocked. But I've experienced, and this is the first time I've experienced this, where, I'm at work and I'm thinking about, okay, I need to write when I get home, and I have no idea what I'm supposed to write. Like, I don't know where I'm at. I don't know, what happens next in the story. I've never experienced that before, and it was a little demoralizing, not while writing, but just starting to write. It was really difficult to start to write. Getting the first 500 words of the day done is always the hardest. And then afterwards, you just kind of start rolling ahead and you're there. But just getting yourself motivated to sit down and start writing is probably the hardest part. Especially, when you feel like you don't know what you need to write right now. You're not happy that you're not finishing the novel as quick as you want, and you're extremely tired from work. Like, all those things are a lot of negativity. But I still, I got through it, and I persevered. But yeah, I like turning things to a positive, looking at the positive spin of things. So I am happy I did it. I will be doing Nano next year. I think it is a really, really good challenge. 50K is an amazing number. It's kind of, honestly, kind of magical. How it pushes you just, at least for me, it pushes me just to the limit of how fast I can write. If it was 60K, I probably couldn't do it. And if it was 40K, it would be too easy. It really is just a perfect number for the challenge. So yeah, I did feel yesterday kind of, for a moment, I was like, oh, I thought about the scene where I'm in right now and what's happening in that scene. I'm like, I should write that down right now. I should sit and write a little bit. But I'm stopping myself. I'm not going to be writing for a couple of days at least. And then I'm just going to take a chill approach to writing. But I definitely don't want to do like Nano until the next Nano. It's a lot. If you're not just a writer, I'm sure if you're just a writer, you can do 100K probably. But if you have another job, if you have other obligations, it is deadly. Overall, I'm happy, but also a little sad about everything. I had a good time. I'm really happy about what I wrote. I'm, hoping that my book will come out next year. It was supposed to be like, okay, I finish it now, then I have edits during this month, then beta reading in January, another round of edits in February, and then March for a proper edit, professional edit, and then the release. But that's not gonna happen right now. But I'm gonna try and write as much as possible and get it out, hopefully next year. I'm so ready for it. I have a lot of things on my plate, but I want to publish this next year so bad. But yeah, this was my month. This was my NaNoWriMo journey for 2023. I don't regret it, but I wish it was easier. But with that said, I am happy about it, and I'm gonna do it next year as well. If you competed in Nano? Did you win? Let me know. If you're interested about like tips and tricks for a double winner, I've won twice now. You can follow me, subscribe to me, bell, all those things. Subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it a lot, and I hope to see you in the next one.